Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you've ever found yourself scrolling through your feed and wondering, what's up with Megan Fox these days? Then you're in the right place. From blockbuster hits to personal battles and unexpected comebacks, Megan's journey has been nothing short of a roller coaster. Today, we're diving deep into how this iconic actress went from ruling the box office to taking on roles that you might not have even heard of. So, if you're ready for this wild ride, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and let's get started. Back in 2007, Megan burst onto the scene, and oh boy, the buzz was real. People were comparing her to Marilyn Monroe and dubbing her the next Angelina Jolie. Yeah, no pressure, right? From making a modest few $1,000, Megan's fees skyrocketed to millions after just one film. She became the cover girl of numerous magazines, hailed as one of the most beautiful actresses of her time. But fast forward to today, and it seems like she's more into films that, well, let's just say they aren't exactly box office hits. Her career kicked off in the early 2000s, and she even had a blink and you miss it role in Bad Boys 2, directed by Michael Bay. It's a tough spot to catch her in, but if you're determined, you just might spot her amidst the chaos of explosions and car chases. Now this part gets a bit controversial. Megan was just 15 when she appeared in that movie, and let's just say it sparked quite the outrage. People were questioning, how could Hollywood let this happen? Where was the oversight? It was a moment that left many shaking their heads in disappointment. So, 2004 was a pretty big year for Megan Fox. She was everywhere, including in the comedy Confessions of a Teenage Drama Queen, alongside Lindsay Lohan. The movie itself wasn't a blockbuster hit, but it pulled in a cool $30 million on a $50 million budget. Not too shabby, right? And guess what? This film was a stepping stone for Megan, leading her directly to her iconic role in Transformers. But let me tell you, it wasn't all smooth sailing. Between 2004 and 2005, Megan faced a ton of rejections. She was this close to landing a role in The Amityville Horror, but at the last minute, Melissa George snagged it instead. Imagine how different things could have been if Megan had gotten that part. Maybe we'd be talking about a completely different star of Transformers. Speaking of Transformers, did you know they wrote 10 different scripts for that beast? Production stretched over a couple of years, giving them plenty of time to scout for the perfect cast. Lucky for Megan, she wasn't tied down by any other projects. Hollywood's cold shoulder kind of worked in her favor this time. Now, here's a fun fact, or maybe just Hollywood legend. Megan's character in Transformers is named Mikaela Banes. Some folks say it's a sneaky nod from the creators, but there's no official word on that. And while we're on the subject of Transformers, only Shia LaBeouf walked away with a hefty paycheck. Poor guy claims he was practically bullied on set, so much so that he had to insure himself big time. And here's a bit of juicy gossip for you. Megan Fox might have been responsible for getting Linkin Park involved in Transformers. She met the band at a concert, and they were all like, hey, we know you're in Transformers, can you hook us up? And she did just that. Shows you never know who you'll bump into at a concert, right? In 2007, Transformers hit the big screens. And well, it was like a bomb going off in Hollywood. This blockbuster raked in a whopping $709 million worldwide, all on a budget of $150 million. Hasbro sold a record number of toys, and the movie absolutely dominated the DVD market, snatching the top spot for sales in its first week and throughout the year. Overnight, everyone involved became a household name, including Tyrese Gibson, who quickly landed a role in Death Race and was welcomed back to the Fast and Furious franchise, with his salary skyrocketing from $400,000 to between $5-8 million per film. And what about Megan Fox? For her role in the first Transformers, she basically got a pat on the back, but by the time the sequel rolled around, her paycheck had bumped up to $800,000. Plus, you can only imagine the queue of brands lining up to get a piece of her star power, though the exact figures remain a bit of a mystery. Between the two Transformers films, Megan had a bit of bad luck with other projects she had signed on to before the first Transformers had even premiered. These didn't do so well financially, which was a bit of a missed opportunity for her. She did have a chance to shine alongside Simon Pegg in How to Lose Friends and Alienate People. Back then, Pegg was on the rise, fresh off the success of Hot Fuzz and Run Fat Boy Run. With a budget of $28 million and stars like Jeff Bridges and Kirsten Dunst alongside, expectations were high. However, the film only scraped together $19 million at the box office. Then there was Whore, another comedy with Megan Fox, which, let's just say, didn't even make it to the big screen and went straight to video. Not exactly the follow-up you'd want when you're trying to capitalize on Transformers fame. After the massive success of the first Transformers movie, a sequel was rushed into production, which is pretty standard Hollywood sequel protocol. But let's just say this one was under a bit of a curse from the get-go. They barely had time to refine the script when a writer's strike hit. Talk about bad timing. So they ended up shooting with whatever scraps of script a couple of writers had managed to throw together in 3 weeks. Despite all the chaos, the box office didn't seem to mind. Talk about dodging a bullet. Transformers: Revenge of the Fallen pulled in a staggering $836 million worldwide on a $200 million budget. Not too shabby for a movie practically stitched together from a few loose script pages, right? Now, Megan Fox, who was already a breakout star from the first film, had a bit of a rough ride with this sequel. Director Michael Bay wasn't too happy that she had lost weight between the films, so he put her on what I'd call a bun diet, supervised by someone whose sole job was to make sure she packed on the pounds, 7 kilograms, in 3 weeks to be exact. Unfortunately, this rapid weight gain wasn't exactly in muscle, and it showed in the film. Megan has often voiced her displeasure, particularly about one scene where she was thrown onto a motorcycle wearing short shorts. She was told that the main camera would focus on her face, and that everything else would just be background noise. However, when the final cut came out, those face shots were nowhere to be seen. Instead, there were plenty of shots from cameras that seemed to have taken a more, let's say, scenic route around her. Megan grew up in a deeply religious family, and these types of scenes always made her uncomfortable, something she's not shy about expressing. Despite the scriptless chows that Michael Bay frequently bemoaned, Revenge of the Fallen did perform spectacularly at the box office. But behind those impressive numbers was an actress who was far from happy with Hollywood's relentless spotlight and the pressure that came with it. While Megan Fox was locked into a 3-movie deal with Transformers, which didn't allow her to negotiate high fees, she managed to snag a juicy role in Jennifer's Body. This film, penned by Diablo Cody, who had previously struck gold with Juno, amassing $231 million at the box office on a mere $7 million budget, was highly anticipated. Cody, hailed as an incredible talent after Juno, set expectations high for Jennifer's Body. The movie, despite a modest budget and heavy marketing, didn't meet the lofty expectations set by Juno. With a production budget of $16 million, it only pulled in $31 million globally. Director Karyn Kusama, who had previously faced a box office flop with Aeon Flux, pointed fingers at the studio and marketing team. She argued that the film was promoted all wrong, pitched as a teen comedy starring Megan Fox rather than the unique, edgier film it was meant to be. Kusama believed that, had the studio listened to her, the outcome could have been drastically different. Megan Fox herself has echoed these sentiments, considering Jennifer's Body to be the best film of her career, despite its performance. The misfires didn't stop there though. Jonah Hex, another big-budget film featuring Fox, flopped disastrously. Costing $50 million to make, it grossed a meager $11 million in 2010. It became clear that despite Megan's fame, her presence alone wasn't enough to draw audiences to theaters. Megan Fox's absence from the third installment of Transformers marked a significant turning point in her career, leading to much speculation and controversy. Initially, all fingers pointed at director Michael Bay, given Megan's public criticisms, where she likened him to a tyrant and even compared him to Hitler. Despite these strong accusations, neither Megan Fox nor Michael Bay directly stated that he was responsible for her departure from the film. As the dust settled and Megan was replaced by Rosie Huntington-Whiteley in the third Transformers, it came to light that the real discontent came from Steven Spielberg, the film's executive producer. Bay later revealed that after one of Megan's controversial interviews, Spielberg called him and demanded that she be dismissed from the project the very next day. While some claimed that Spielberg had nothing to do with the decision and that Bay was merely using him as a shield, these claims were met with skepticism. Despite the fallout, Bay never held a grudge against Fox for her remarks, as evidenced by him casting her in the lead female role in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, a film he produced in 2013. This move suggested that perhaps Bay was not involved in her Transformers departure after all. However, rumors still circulated that Spielberg had denied any involvement in her firing. From 2010 onwards, Megan Fox's career faced significant challenges. Apart from Bay's invitation to join Ninja Turtles 3 years later, major film roles dried up for her. She found herself participating in lesser-known films like Passion Play, which even co-star Mickey Rourke criticized as being a remarkably bad film. Despite facing significant challenges in her career, Megan Fox never completely disappeared from the public eye. She managed to land cameo roles, like her appearance in Sacha Baron Cohen's The Dictator, and even had a part in Judd Apatow's comedy This Is 40. While that film didn't meet expectations, earning just $88 million against a $40 million budget, it was enough to keep her from sliding completely into B-list territory. Michael Bay's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles came at a crucial time for Fox. Although the first film was heavily criticized, it performed well at the box office, earning $485 million against a $125 million budget. The sequel, however, didn't fare as well, bringing in only $245 million with a slightly higher budget of $135 million. After that, Fox seemed to struggle taking roles in less distinguished films and a James Franco project, Zeroville, which was shelved for 3 years and then released directly to video. Recently, there's been an attempt to reinvent Megan Fox as an action star, with her appearing in several action films made for TV and streaming platforms. These films have received mediocre ratings, around 4 or 5 out of 10. Despite these less than stellar reviews, Fox was cast in The Expendables 4, which could signify a significant return to mainstream cinema. One of her latest films, Midnight in the Switchgrass, received one of the better viewer ratings for a Bruce Willis film in recent years, almost hitting 5 out of 10. Interestingly, despite her fluctuating film career, Fox has maintained lucrative advertising contracts, which have presumably kept her financially stable. After splitting from her husband, star of Beverly Hills, Fox seems to be blossoming, and possibly on the brink of reviving her career. She's also making headlines again for dating a well-known singer, which seems to be boosting her public profile, though it may be challenging for Fox to return to her former level of stardom from the late 2000s and early 2010s. Her recent endeavors and media attention suggest she still has a shot at making a significant comeback. Hollywood is unpredictable, and Megan Fox's journey is a testament to that.